Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of Dead Zone Outdoors. The package man came, Is it a new bow? Have to look and see.
Yeah, you're heroes, everyday heroes, trying hard just to get by.
Thanks for hanging in there. Yeah, as my kids used to say, the package man came, It's like Christmas whenever we get something from Amazon, it's a whole lot of excitement going on at our house. Anyway, let's see what we got. I already know what it is, but let's see what we got. What could it be? Oh my goodness gracious. It is an arrow cutoff saw. We don't need that right now. And some extra cutting discs. Yeah, I want to expand my crossbow workshop, I guess you could say. And this is one of the first things that I wanted to get, is this cutoff saw to do some custom arrow work. So let's open this up. It's an SPG. I've seen some other folks using it, and they could have been packaged a little better, but that's Amazon. They had it just in that box with nothing else. Get this thing opened up, see what it looks like, get it put together. Like I said, I've seen it used, and it looked pretty handy dandy. So look at that. That's all that's in there. Set this up, maybe. Oh, look at that. It comes with some extra cutting discs. I didn't know that. All right, we'll set that right there. Here's the power supply. Chances I hit the trash can. Slim to none. There goes my Nike contract. So anyway, that's the power supply. It came with 2 cutting discs, and then there was an extra pack in there, and I have a 5-pack here, so I've got enough cutting discs. Excuse me, give me something to drink. I got enough cutting discs probably to last a lifetime. They did package this pretty good from China. Put that out of the way. It's calibrated on here and on here, so you can adjust the length of what you're cutting off. Comes with a few different things here. My goodness, it's got all kinds of, it's complicated. I may have to read the instructions. Get somebody else in here, get my wife in here and show me how to put this together. This is just 3D printed. There's a shroud here that's just 3D printed. And see what this is. I'll move you guys in closer so you can see it. I'm going to tell you, here's the instructions. If you want some instructions to follow, right there's instructions. Pictures, and it says 4 screws and 4 T-nuts, I guess. And they show you how they go into this right here. So that's what it shows. I'll have to show you that again. I'll get a close-up of that. That is outstanding as far as instructions go. So we'll just kind of look at that and see if we can figure it out. Like I said, it's 3D printed. This here looks like it's the part that holds the shaft. It's rounded. This part holds the shaft. And there's a T-nut and stuff already in here. I'll probably put it together wrong. Get it started anyway. There we go. All right, I brought you all the way in here closer so you can look at it. And here's the instructions. They're actually a lot better instructions than what, as I knock stuff over. I thought this was the only instructions in the box. I actually have these. So, shows you how everything goes. What we're going to do is we slide the like I got the arrow guide right here. I got it slid on, and I'm gonna put it at 25. Try to anyway. There we go. So you can see what I'm doing. And here's these little knurled nuts that I was talking about. You can see that. I'll hold that up to the camera so you can see it. Like that right there. All right. I went ahead and put them in. You can see that. Put it in like this. This is the shield, shroud for the motor. And this is the guide for the shaft. And when the arrow shaft, when you want to cut, it sits right in here like that. And if you get close up, you could see why I have a donor arrow for all this. It's actually got a crack in it right there. It's cracked from there to there. I knocked this arrow, I believe. No, this wasn't the one I knocked. This is the one I knocked. I knocked this. That's 40 yards. Shoot a group. Don't shoot a group at 40 yards. I just demolished that. Anyway, so that's that stuff. We got the arrow guide on there. The motor actually goes on a little funky. It goes on, and as you can see in the picture, kind of goes on backwards to what I think it would. And you slide, if I can get it to slide over these here, you slide it on, maybe. Get that squared off there, we got it. It slides on. Okay. Now, like I said, this is on one end, it's set at 25. So if you set this at 5, that should be 20. It ain't. There's 20 right there. Now I'll adjust all that and tighten it down. I guess I should go ahead and do it now. Let's just tighten this side down right here. You could see that I was setting at 25. Yep, there we go. I'll set that there. It's tight. What I may do is I'll put my own marks on there so I know where I'm at. If something happens, it tries to come loose or something. So there's that. Let's run this back till it touches my shaft, my arrow shaft, and let's touch it, bring it back here till it touches. I want it to touch kind of snug. Tighten this up. And that, I may actually come off of it just a little bit, just in case it doesn't cut it straight. there it is. It is all but touching. So now we'll slide this, let's see. Probably slide this cover over first as it goes on from this back side. Slide the cover over. There we go. You can see that. And also what I did, I'm going to slide this back up. I'm going to put the other one in. It came with an Allen wrench and 2 of these little set screws. And I put one in on this side, holding that blade in. Cutting wheel, I should say. Tighten that up pretty tight. Do the same thing on this side. It's got 2, so. That's snug enough. You don't have to kill it. I don't want to. That's good. I'm going to check these because usually. Now that was tight. That was tight. All right. So they did a good job. Must have been a Monday. So slide this over. Center it up on there like that. Tighten these down. I'll give it to them. These little knurled knobs are pretty handy dandy. They're pretty handy dandy. I didn't get it. I didn't get it centered in there. I'm gonna tell you what, that wheel right there is crooked as hell. We'll see what we can do with that. Alright, that's out. There we go. That ain't even close to being straight. Wow. We'll see what I could do to straighten that out. But anyway, that goes there like that. I'll show you how this goes, and then I'll see what I could do to straighten that out. This goes on here. Again, you center it around your cutoff wheel. Tighten it up. There we go, that's tight. Okay, ended up with an extra one of these. Extra parts and pieces, that's pretty good. It's not as stable as I think it should be. So you put your shaft in there like that. Get you up here where you can see it. Put your shaft in there. There we go. Set it in here. Set it in there. And you just roll it and cut it. Whatever you're cutting it at. I'll tell you, you need to measure because their marks on this is not right. Their marks are not right. So I want to try to find me an outlet and plug it in because I've got this thing right here. It's as big as a shoebox. I think they could have made this bigger. I really think that they could have made this power box bigger. I really do. But anyway, it gets plugged in right there. See if I can find an outlet and see it, or an extension cord, one or the other, and see if this thing actually runs now that we got it put together. So let's find that cord or something and see what we can do. All right, I found a cord. I plugged it in. This is kind of cool. You plug it in. It's got a little LED that's why they had to make this box so big, is they had to put that LED in there. So this way you can tell that you got power. And let's see if it runs. It does for a fact. Let's see if that wheel was turning straight in there, though. That was what I was concerned with. And it ain't even close to straight. It wobbles around. We'll see if I can't straighten that up, but it does run. See if I can't straighten that up. If I straighten that up and everything works, well, everything else works, we know. So let's see if we can do that, and I'll not bore you with that, but I'll see if I can get it straightened up, and if I can, we'll go with it. If not, what I'll do is I'll just plan on cutting my shafts just a little bit long and sanding them down. So, which is a pain in the butt, but that's what you get, I guess. All right, let me try to straighten that out. All right, I got it straightened out. It was pretty easy. All I do was change this out. This wheel is not straight. I don't know if it's not straight in here where it's been tightened up or what, but it's not straight. So I put another cutting wheel in there, and it spins just fine. So let's see if we can cut something. Maybe just try to cut this area that I knocked. I just want to see if it's going to work. Let's just cut a little bit off there. No, we can't do that. Let's cut this way. Yeah, we can do that. Let's just cut it about right there. Ought to be past the insert right there. All right. And run that in a little bit to where I can cut make sure I cut all the way through the shaft. That looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Whenever you're doing anything like this, make sure you're wearing all your safety gear and all that stuff. So I got my safety glasses on, so we'll see what this does. Well, it's a saw. It cuts things off. It didn't do too bad. All right. You can see that. It cuts things off. I'm going to get we'll see how square it cut it off. I'm going to get my squaring tool there. There we go. Get it out real quick. Put it, run a little paint pen around there, and then sand it and see what it looks like. So let's do that real quick. We'll see how square everything cut off, but the saw run cut the way it's supposed to. That worked out pretty good. Let's see how square it cut it off, and we'll go from there. Let me grab that. All right, I got my fire knock squaring jig out here, squaring tool, I should say. We'll see what it looks like. I got a brand new piece of paper on there. See what it looks like. Taking There you go, I can see that. Let's see what it does. Actually, it's not too shabby. It needed a little bit of sanding, but not much. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on it. Just a little chunk right there at that end. Right there. Yeah, that did it. I probably did it a little too much on that one, but that got rid of everything. As far as what's on the face of the shaft, there's a little bit on the side. I got some on the side, but the face of the shaft, I got some more on the side right there. But you can see it's pretty good. So, all right, it cut it off pretty square. I'm okay with that. A little bit of sanding, I understand whenever you square them up. So, and this is the Fire Knock arrow preparation system. It's my spinner. It's a pretty nice spinner. I like it. So, all right. Let me clean this mess up here, but it works. Let me clean this mess up and we'll close this thing out. All right. That's a SPG Arrow cutoff saw. First off, if you got anything out of the video, do us a favor, hit the like, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment below. Love to hear from you, and all that helps with the channel as far as the algorithm goes. But anyway, end result on the impressions on the saw. Could it be better? Yeah, it could be better. For what you pay for it, it's a pretty decent saw. It'll work well for, I mean, a home shop. Not it's by no means a professional cutoff saw, by no means. But it does work, and I think we can work with it. So I'm going to do a real nice segment on some arrow building for this year, knock on wood. We'll try to get that done. So anyway, that's this SPG saw. Again, if you like the video, hit the thumbs up, like and subscribe, leave a comment down below. Love to hear from you, and remember, it's up to us to pass on this great tradition. So take a kid hunting, fishing, just get them out and enjoy the great outdoors. Thank you.
Remember all of the old ones. Some will never see again. And your heroes, everyday heroes, working hard just to get by. Yeah, your heroes, everyday heroes, trying hard just to get by.